So I think luxury as a word has been thrown around quite a bit now.
Hello and welcome to Prop Personalities, a podcast by Prop News Time where we sit down with influential real estate leaders. Beyond titles and organizations are the people, and we today sit down to find out their perspective and take on the real estate industry. Harsh Jagwani joined his family business in 2020 at a time when most real estate companies were slowing down. Instead of playing it safe, however, he chose to scale up, expand operations, build a full team, and take on multi-luxury projects across the city. Today, as MD of Notandas Realty, Harsh leads a fully bootstrapped company that has delivered over 5 lakh square feet with million square feet currently under development. In this episode, we speak with Harsh Jagwani about his real estate journey and what it really takes to build a luxury real estate brand in India. Hi Harsh, thanks for joining us this morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Yeah. So you've been in real estate for about 5 years now. Can you tell us how did your journey begin and what got you into real estate?
So I think always as a family we had exposure in real estate. Even when I was very young, there would be a couple of joint ventures, and I believe my father had also executed a couple of buildings in the past. But as a not as a business model per se, more build to hold for rental and things like that. So we always had the option to, I would say, jewelry and real estate together. I was always more inclined towards real estate. So once I came back from college and started working here, I did spend some time in jewelry. But of course, I was more inclined to real estate. So that's what I took up in my hands and went full throttle in that direction.
What was your childhood like from a business family point of view?
So grew up in a traditional business family. We would discuss work at home in general, even if we had half knowledge. A lot of conversations on dinner tables would be about and around business. That was how I generally grew up. It was very comfortable. From there, I did my education in Bombay, then went to college to Boston. From there, moved to London to further study, and then came back to Bombay. That's when I took all this up.
And what's it like working with family?
I think many people say it's challenging. I find it rather easy. I believe in our family, it's very, very well divided. So, of course, I have a sister. She looks after the jewelry bit. I look after real estate. Our father's there. He just looks over most. He's not in it operationally or into detailing. So, I think everybody has enough room to breathe and move around to figure out what they're doing. Then just getting instructions and being in each other's faces all the time.
How do you define luxury real estate?
My basic idea is anything that makes your life easier or something that the market generally is not doing and you're giving great quality is luxury. So quality is one aspect. If you think about it, if even you live the most lavish lifestyle and there's that one thing that you haven't seen or you haven't experienced, and as a developer we can offer that to you, that would be a luxury for you even then. So it's a very open-ended kind of a word. Everyone's using it all over, but I think people who are experiencing it just know.
What are your future plans? How do you intend to expand over the next decade in terms of size and scale? What are your thoughts?
So I'll tell you, I've been asked this question in the past, and real estate generally is so dynamic. I think most people who make a decade plan are all over the place. We're looking over the next couple of years.
Okay.
We have, I think Mumbai is doing very well. It's a stronghold. Expanding our top line and bottom line organically year on year. I think we have a good enough roadmap for the next 3 to 4 years. We are set. But I believe for the time being, on the realty space, also on the overall group space, including jewelry and the other ancillary businesses, we're in a good space currently.
So, are there any plans to maybe get into different asset classes or do joint ventures and try out different real estate segments?
Currently in real estate, of course, we're doing joint ventures, redevelopment, joint developments, things like that. We're always open to opportunity if something comes which is very, very exciting. And then let's see how that goes. But that's not something that we consciously plan because this consumes so much of our time. It's not that we're going out and innovating something new and taking it hands on. It's normally opportunities that come on the table where someone's innovated something or created a kind of a business model which we can
True.
ride along with them and just add fuel to the fire.
In the future, do you want to go public or raise money from private equity or REITs and stuff like that?
So we, of course, have positioned ourselves at the way we are working. So in a, such an organized manner, and the entire backend team, we are working everything in a checklist, kind of what a larger, more organized firm would do. So if we did have to list or go out to raise money, it
Yeah.
would be relatively easier compared to other developers, right?
Correct.
We're sure on that. Now, that being said, if an opportunity comes where that kind of funds is required, is something that we would explore then. But just till that kind of a mindset, idea, or business model is not in place, there's no point listing. So we have enough capital, enough cash flow for the next 1 to 2 years of expansion.
Have you all thought of maybe expanding and going into hotels, hospitality, F&B, any of those?
So that is something that we are currently exploring for one of our projects. It's
All
still a
right.
little earlier, so early in the day. So maybe I don't have all the details to share with you, but of course we're doing a large scale development and something like
So mixed
education,
use.
something like a mall, something as a hotel just comes ancillary, because when you're doing a larger kind of development, you need to incorporate these things within
Right.
that. So we are currently in negotiation for entering into the hospitality space. If it works out or doesn't, we'll probably know in some time, but that's currently happening.
So are you all also thinking of getting into branded residences?
I believe for us, it's not that we want to, only for us specifically, not as an industry, that we want to market the project and we've brought the brands in just for positioning. We don't, since we anyway command a premium compared to other developments in our vicinity when we build,
Right.
it is more to do with positioning, because our clients are more brand savvy.
Brand conscious,
They're more
right?
brand
Yeah.
savvy and brand conscious. We are not doing any of that. So what we're doing is we are naming our buildings like what we are. So we have example Northern Crown or Northern Tides, something like that.
Okay.
And we're just putting it as a footnote, or maybe the brand over there being like this brand is
Designed by
collaborate,
or
yeah, designed by this brand. So at least we are not diluting our brand. It's not that the entire concept and idea of the building is, let's say, XYZ brand. But of course, they're a part of the project. They put some kind of ideology within it and some kind of products within it.
are you, since you are already into real estate, are you all thinking of doing serviced apartments and stuff like that?
Yes, that's on the cards as well. I believe in India, it hasn't taken off at the speed that it should
Yeah.
have, based on how the real estate generally has gone up. Service apartments should have been a lot, should as an industry should have had a much larger foothold in India when
True.
you compare to global peers. But I think that is something that is going to pick up in the next 5 to 7 years, definitely. I think
Yeah.
that's a large opportunity there.
Has the buyer changed from the person who your father dealt with to who you're dealing with?
No, definitely. Earlier, it was more value for money. Real estate was a lot more commoditized. So they're like, okay, Bandra में 30,000 रुपया रेट चलता है, लोखंडवाला में 12,000 में मिलता है. Now I think the newer generation understands the nuances of a particular project or a property they're buying. So there will be questions about what kind of quality you're building, what kind of interiors do you have, what kind of, like I said earlier, what kind of facility management is there, what kind of
Correct.
amenities are within it, and that actually defines the price point of a project also, right?
Right.
And people understand that they want quality of life. They don't mind spending that 5 or 10 or 15% premium if they actually like the product. It's not off plan in the past, like off plan. Okay, this is a good deal. This is cheaper, so let's go get this. There are still clients like that,
Right.
but that's not something that we target or focus on. We want people in our developments in our communities to be who are more aware of what they're getting, so they use everything and it becomes a part of their lifestyle.
So you've also had a global exposure, both in education and I'm sure while traveling and stuff as well. So when it comes to luxury real estate, how does India compare in terms of when you think of Dubai, London? Why would people still be spending that kind of money in India, or would they prefer to go off and buy real estate in London or Dubai?
I think we're on the map. We are comparable. I just think the only difference is that we can do quality work and we are doing as well. But there's no kind of a floor. So once you go to a Dubai or a London, there's some kind of base which nobody goes below. DLF has done a fabulous job in Gurgaon. You see all
Correct.
these beautiful buildings in BKC. So
Right.
much development is coming all over Bombay. I believe most of them are good. But simultaneously, you'll see maybe a 5 minute drive or a 6 minute drive. You'll see another development which is so subpar. You would not, if you put the two buildings together and both are new, you wouldn't know if they exist in the same city as well. Right. So
Right.
I believe that kind of floor has not been maintained.
So, but basically that's cause, as you all said, you all are, if you all are selling mostly to individuals, is to maintain a certain gentry and level. But in a country as vast as India and as diverse, even in cities like a Bombay, you can't have a uniform gentry anywhere. No. How do you see institutional investors and corporatization impacting this industry? Are we going to become more transparent in the future, or will there become fewer players, or will it expand? What do you think will
I think
happen?
as a industry now, real estate is a lot more transparent compared to when I started off. Government, of course, has put a lot of policies in place for that as well. But I think overall, if you look at a scale, overall it looks pretty clean to me. So I don't see anything happening there. On the institution front, I think they have a good foothold in India now. We have the large international brands here tying up with developers, buying assets, things like that.
So when people come to buy at it's the level where we're saying it's with 20, 25 crores they're spending on these houses, at that time, do they come with, do they bring along experts?
So at that kind of a ticket size, we mostly sell shell and core apartments, they're bare shell. Of course, most people want to bring in the interior designer and do interiors themselves. I think two major people, clients at that scale look at. One is the interior designer who they plan to make the house from, because once they see the floor plan, they
Okay.
want to, of course, make changes. They want to see if this wall can get broken down, not broken down. This toilet can get filled, not get filled. What can we do with this window? Can we shut this off? Can we not? So that's one person they really rely on, because that's going to be the end product, right?
Right.
So they want to visualize it on day one.
Correct.
And second, in the property purchase point of time, everyone does rely heavily on their lawyer, and lawyers now also hire kind of general sanitary kind of checkups on the project. So they'll see
Okay.
what are the title documents, and lawyers, of course, we deal with them all the time for the client's behalf. They also look at what are the approved plans. Earlier, there used to
Mm,
be a kind of a mismatch that the approval would be something else and so it would be something else.
right.
They match that what you're buying is what is approved by BMC. You're not kind of flouting norms in any manner. So I think these two are people that clients really look upon for genuine advice at that point of time.
Thank you so much, Harsh. Lovely talking to you.